I'm sure we've all done it on Facebook. This is happening live at the Clarion Hotel, Nairobi, Kenya. My name is Joel Kobe, and it's a great pleasure for me to host the author of Mastering Your Money in the today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman that I'm just about to bring to us is a lecturer, is a personal financial advisor, is a life coach, is a motivational speaker, is a mentor, and a unionist. He has profound passion in personal finance, leadership, and personal development. Ladies and gentlemen, our author is the founder of Chattanomics Limited, a consulting company that offers mentorship and coaching programs. He holds a master's degree in applied linguistics and a Bachelor of Education Arts. He's currently pursuing a doctorate degree in applied linguistics. Ladies and gentlemen, our today's author is married to one Madam Tabitha, and they are blessed with 4 children. They all sound international. We have Garang, Anan, Ocampo, and Michelle. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome on stage one and only Chattanomics Bichang'a. Welcome, sir. I was tempted to handshake you, but in the season that we are living in, tumeambiwa karibu tu ama just nodding your head is good enough. How are you feeling? The day has finally come.
I'm feeling fantastic. It's exciting. This is the day.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So we celebrate you today. This is a great, great, great milestone. I know there are so many people who have gathered here, and there are several people watching from all corners of the world, just to really catch a glimpse of what all this is about. Now, from your profile note, it comes out clearly that you're a person who has mastered linguistics. But we are here today launching your first book on personal financial management. Many speakers who have just spoken before me have said that they expected you to be launching a book on linguistics. So how did you end up writing a book on personal financial management?
Thank you, Brother Tijo. As you have rightly put it, of a person who has specialized in linguistics. The knowledge of linguistics actually is very wide because the language is the medium of communication. The language skills that I've acquired and the passion that I've developed in the subject of personal finance out of my experiences from childhood to date in terms of relating with money and having hit the wall. And actually, thank God I actually didn't die. I came back alive. I actually embarked on learning more about money because the subject of money is very emotive, it's very sensitive, and very controversial, and most misunderstood. And this subject, because it is actually when I went through school, was not taught, and if it was taught, it was for passing exams. I realized I have to get these hands-on skills after having got challenges with the money, entered into business, lost, and so on. I decided, no, I have to learn. So there are a team of coaches, mentors have actually made me and influenced me to write a book called Mastering Your Money. Wow. So I've used my language skills to package the information, the content, the experiences, my own personal experience and other people's life stories into a book that can act as a personal financial guide to help us improve the way we relate with money.
Wow, that's so wonderful. I've gone through the book. It's a very, very, very practical book. And as I mentioned earlier on, I've done BCom Finance and CPA. I'm a certified public accountant. But I'm amazed that a person who is not an accountant as per training is doing so well. I would say you qualify to be a lecturer at Nairobi University, BCom, School of Finance. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Looking at your profile as well, you seem to be a man with so many hats, yes? You're a mentor, you're an inspirational speaker, you're a life coach, you're a corporate trainer, you're a lecturer, and you're also a unionist.
Yes.
How do you manage to run all those?
Thank you. Those are actually questions that many are asking. I'm actually a person who wears many hats, as you have said. I'm a proud father and husband. You have seen my wife, Tabitha, and the children. Um, this act of being a unionist, it is out of passion. I realized that while growing up, and also when I went into the employment sector, actually fellow workers were experiencing problems and they could not come out to openly articulate them and have them addressed. And I realized, no, I'm not a person to keep quiet. Even back at home, even in my family, even when my parents actually do something, I could rest and say, this is not right. So because of that, standing up for what is also wrong and articulating my personal experience and what I believe in, I actually became a unionist actually by default, because upon being employed, I realized, well, let me actually help my colleagues articulate and champion their rights. For example, better remuneration, improved working conditions, and so on. That is how I ended actually becoming a unionist. First, I was in Kupet, founding member of Kupet, Hucha branch. Then when I went to university, I'm actually the founding chapter secretary of Wasu Garissa University.
Wow. That sounds so good. So, a unionist, personal financial coach, a lecturer. Now, looking at one of the other things that you've done in your life, you're also the founder of Chattanomics Limited. Maybe you can tell us something about that and how it influenced your writing of this book.
Thank you. Actually, I'm the founding CEO of Chattanomics Consulting Company, which has Chattanomics 101, a subsidiary that runs the mentorship and the coaching programs. Chattanomics 101 has a dedicated team of coaches, trainers, and mentors. Don't be surprised that Felix, my accountability partner, is one of them. Another one actually is not here by name, Nelias Kiare.
Okay.
So Chattanomics here.
Nelias is there. She's
Oh,
waving at
Nelias,
us.
thank you. Yeah. So in this team of Chattanomics actually mentors and coaches, we offer a number of services. One is a one-on-one personal financial coaching. We have 3 to 6 months coaching on finances, on mentor relationships, and emotional wellness. And also we do corporate and institutional training.
Oh my. So if you're there, then Chattanomics is a place to be. Kindly look out for it. We are going to be giving you the web address shortly. Now, in your book, you told us about several mistakes that you've made. Of course, wahenga wakatueleza, mtaka cha mvunguni sharti ainame.
No.
And in order for you to get to where you are, there could be several opportunities that you had, maybe to make millions. But instead of making millions, it all went to the drains. Maybe you can share with us some of those nasty experiences.
Yes, my brother Tijo, actually, the greatest challenge is not in making the mistakes, as we say. You know, the traditional school system has taught us that the mistakes are supposed to be punished. But in real life, mistakes are learning points. Mistakes are appreciated. When you make a mistake, that is an indicator that you have learned. You are not at the same position. You have moved on, that you have not got it right. So what I would say, a number of the personal financial mistakes I've actually made, I could say attribute them to some of the beliefs. For example, you can ask yourself, what did you experience? What did you hear when young? Because the experiences actually form the beliefs. What opinion or attitude do you have towards money? What do you think about money in our day-to-day life? I realized that my childhood actually experiences influenced my beliefs and thought patterns that now led to the actions later on. For example, when young, many of you have said that actually money is called a number of names. For example, you know, I could be sent to the shop and once I squander, actually they lose change. I'm beaten, told money does not grow on trees. Money is evil. Money is scarce, okay? Mnajua vile pesa iko ngumu. I am sure many of you have gone through such experiences.
Yes.
That actually forms what we call as the myths, and which need to be deconstructed. It is from the childhood experiences that forms the beliefs which influence the thought patterns that lead to actions. Unless we understand that, then we'll keep on repeating the mistakes. And now we are here punishing mistakes. No, go back to the root cause. And that has been well captured in actually part 1. Chapter 2, that is demystifying the concept of money.
Yes.
Because chapter 1 is about my financial journey,
Yes.
right from childhood to date. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. Now, we are living in a post-COVID season, a season of great turbulence.
Yeah.
So many people have lost their jobs. Several businesses are not performing as they ought to be performing. And of course, there's cry left, right, center. People are wondering what to do. And of course, in your book, chapter 9, I saw you dedicated that to disaster management when it comes to your personal financial management. So what kind of advice you do give us on how to cope during such turbulent seasons?
Thank you. Actually, we are actually in a world of the new normal in the COVID-19 season, which actually we are coming to learn to live with it. Nowadays, people are not fearful of it. And we are not saying that we relax some of the Ministry of Health guidelines. Yes. So the COVID-19 is one of the disasters that now are dealt with in chapter 9. Yes. That is inability to cope with the disasters. Yes. In chapter 9 is part of the chapters I've actually elaborately looked at in part 2, which talks about common personal financial problems. So one of the common personal financial problems that is grave is inability to cope with disasters. And I've used now COVID-19, the coronavirus, as an example. We know the effects that it has caused, the irreparable damages. Businesses actually collapse, cash flow challenges, institutions have closed, even if they are actually being opened gradually. Business is actually not in the usual normal. So in this case, I also give kind of a recipe set of so how do we cope with these disasters? Disasters come with also their bunch of blessings. For example, this book was actually born during this period. This is actually the book of the moment, the book of the time that every person needs. And in the book, I've actually talked about the positive effect of coronanomics. This term is associated with the socioeconomic impact of coronavirus. Talk of coronanomics, which has gained traction. One of the key things on how to cope with disasters is actually having what we call a crisis budget. You remember actually when we started, you cannot spend the way you are doing. Many people lost jobs. Businesses have collapsed. Income actually dwindled. So what does that mean? You re-examine your budget and make changes. When we talk of the necessary expenses, the unnecessary expenses, and so on. So even for the necessary expenses, you have to re-examine and see where do you cut down. For example, if you have lost a job, this actually virus has reminded they need to have an emergency fund, a safety net. Yes. Many of us who didn't actually heed to the advice of saving, for example, 3 to 6 months in our emergency kitty, are seeing the reality and actually learning the hard way. So crisis budget actually helped. One of it is actually also debt management. We were forced actually to renegotiate with our creditors actually to have a new repayment period. That means during this pandemic, we also need now to come out of comfort zone. Some people, have started business which they could not start because they have been in a comfort zone.
You're right.
Yes. So my brother, that chapter 9, it's actually the last chapter in part 2. In a bit to cope with disaster, I've given ways on how to cope with that after having looked at the adverse effect of the coronavirus and now the adverse effect of the coronanomics now when we talk of the socioeconomic impact. Thank you.
My, oh my. Ladies and gentlemen, this is happening at Chattanomics TV, where as always, we keep you refreshed. We take a short commercial break, and when we get back, a lot more will be in the offering. Tafadhali salimia jirani yako sasa. Kama ulikuwa na maji kunywa, ni wakati wako sasa wa kufurahi kidogo. Nikupatia maji gani? Hii ama hii?
Yeah, yoyote.
Yoyote?
Yeah.
Pewa. Ni wakati wa kupiga kelele, ongelesha jirani yako kidogo. We take a short water break. In the next 30 minutes, we should be done with the program. Welcome back to Chattanomics TV. I'm your host, T. Joe. Now, one of the areas that you really emphasized in your book or laid emphasis is on budgeting.
Yes.
And in here could be someone who is not having a problem with money. Someone could be having 20 million in the bank account, 40 million. In my past life, I worked as a banker. And you find someone has got 20 million, 30 million, 15 million shillings in the bank. Many people believe that budgeting is a mannerism that ought to be adopted by paupers, not people with a lot of money. Why should I budget if I have got 5 million, 10 million, 20 million shillings in the bank? The other thing that you've really emphasized in your book is on record keeping, that I need to keep records. I need to track my expenses. I need to track my income. So if I'm earning 10 million, 2 million a month, why need I keep such kind of records? If I waste a million, I mean, what is a million?
Thank you, Brother Tijo. That underscores the common misconceptions about the important aspect of budgeting and tracking, record keeping of your finances. Well, think you have said one could be having a lot of money in the bank, and you have said that budgeting is for the purpose. I think that is a misnomer. It's a serious misconception. The issue is not actually whether you have a lot of money in the bank or whether you don't have money in the bank or whether you don't have a regular income. The issue here is understanding the importance of budgeting. That is the bottom line. Do we understand the importance of budget? Because some of us give ourselves excuses. Oh, I don't have a lot of money. I don't need to budget. I know how to use my money. Therefore, who is this? Who can tell me how to budget? After all, I'm a God-fearing person. Well, so the thing is this, understanding the importance of budgeting. In the book, I have actually clearly outlined that, but I will talk of actually two. One, a budget actually, my brother, is a blueprint, an outline, a guide that tells you where your money should go instead of wondering where the money has gone after spending. It's actually a way of telling your money where it should go before you start spending, instead of wondering where it went after you have spent. That is why, for example, you get a windfall. You have 50,000, you even have 20 million. If you don't have a budget, you can use it, and therefore, if you don't have a track record, you don't monitor, then you cannot account to yourself. So budgeting helps us to know or to tell our money where it goes. And budgeting, secondly, helps us to reduce wastage. It helps us to set our financial priorities right. In fact, it's through budgeting that you learn to save so that you invest. It's through budgeting. If you don't budget, you don't know how much of your total income you are saving, or how much are you supposed to save, so that you invest so that the money grows in order to reach your ultimate goal of attaining a personal financial freedom.
Okay.
So the essence is master your money through budgeting and tracking where every shilling goes. Other misconceptions, they're null and void.
Null and void. So from today, we have got a new instruction. That is, there's need for us to give our money name. There's nothing as dangerous as nameless money.
Yes.
If it's called ice cream, it says yes.
Yes.
If it's called harambe, it says yes. And of course, it's very good for us to become deliberate.
Yeah.
Very
And in
deliberate
fact,
about
we
that.
say money is a good servant, but a bad master.
My.
A good servant because it does the things that it should do, paying
Yes.
the bills.
Yes.
Okay, you can use it to buy what you want, invest it. A bad master, if it controls you, if you have not mastered it, it controls you instead. Yes. And money is an unliving thing, yet we are giving it life.
Ah.
We are blaming for the wrong reasons because of our own mistakes, our own thinking. Right.
Wow. God made money.
And they say money made man mad. A serious misconception I deconstruct in the book, Mastering Your Money.
My goodness. Money made man mad. So I hope there's none of us who is mad here on account of money. Now, one of the other truths, it's a very painful truth that you give us in the book, is the truth about savings. Is the truth about paying yourself first. And you find for most commoners, what they do, you earn your money, you spend. Whatever is left, you call it savings. But you've deconstructed it completely. You've told us that it's important for us to pay ourselves first.
Yes.
Now, do you pay yourself first or you pay God first?
Well, we need to get these actually things right. When actually you have your money, you budget, okay, of course, tithing first. But there are people who don't.
God first.
Yeah. Those who don't tithe, they give to charity and or whatnot.
Okay.
But there is one language that money speaks. Do you know it?
Uh-huh.
Save me today.
I'll save you tomorrow.
Good. You have got it right. So what about the saving aspect?
Why pay myself first?
Why you should pay yourself first is because, you are very important. After all, you are the one waking up very early and going to work.
Okay, I get it. Now, for that reason, paying myself first means pesa ya kujivinjari.
Not really.
Jasho, kuambia mwili pole.
Not that is treating yourself. You have got it. That is treating yourself, not paying yourself first.
So how do I pay myself? What do I do with that money?
Okay, paying yourself first is this. For example, I've given various guidelines, various modules. Let me talk of the 80-20 rule. You'll find it there. The fifth actually model of saving. 80-20 rule, in fact, is known as a Pareto principle.
Yes.
Which says that 20% of the total income you get, you put it in a saving kitty. And that is the money that you grow. That's the seed you are planting.
Yes.
That will grow into the assets you want. So in this case, 80-20 here, before now you spend, first take 20%, put it aside. 80% use it for other expenses.
Okay.
You don't begin with now the 80%, which is the whatever. And that rule is not cast in stone. What you can do, you can adjust it according to your need. You can vary it to actually 30-70. It can go 60-40, okay. 50-50. Yeah, you have to assess your needs. Our financial needs are different. And this goes with your age bracket, okay? A person is 20, 30, or 40. The saving goal may not be the same as a person who is in the 50s or 60s.
Yes.
So paying yourself first is very important. Putting money in a safety net, in actually an account where you use it now to invest.
Okay.
And there are various ways, by the way, of saving and investing.
Yes.
That's why you should read the book, Pillars of Mastering Your Money.
So many options. So if there is someone watching and you're wondering where you'll take your money after paying yourself first, of course, you need look no further. Mastering Your Money is going to give you guidance on where to take all that money. Now, one of the other things that I really like in the book is the concept of guiding individuals on how to spend their money or how to relate with their money.
Yes.
So what do you understand by your relationship with money? I'm married, so does it mean that money is a wife or a husband or a friend? How do I relate with money?
Thank you for actually voicing your pertinent sentiment. We do have a relation with money, whether we like it or not. The same way we have a relation with our spouse, our children, our maker, our God, and with other people we work with. But the critical thing is that most people don't know that they have a relation with money. Because of the myth that money is evil, it's not a source of happiness, that I don't need to have a lot of money.
Yes.
That is why people run away from having an introspection. The relation with the money, in fact, here you can examine yourself. If money were a person and it were to describe you, what will it say about you? What will it say about you, my brother?
A friend or a bother?
Yes, it can be, a friend or a bother. Meaning that you either have a good or a bad healthy or unhealthy relationship.
Yes.
So this is a challenge to all of us. As we leave this tonight, this evening, go have a meeting, a one-on-one meeting between yourself and your money. For example, find out how much money have you spent the whole day. Track it. Where has it gone? Okay? So that is, if you don't respect money, equally don't expect money to respect you. The same way, if you don't respect your spouse, your children, your next of kin, do you expect them to respect you?
No.
Yes, that's the same way.
Thank you so much for that. Now, finally, as we near the end of this show, there is some component of the book, some part of the book whereby you're advising those who are in their 20s, those who are in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, those who are 60 and above, how they ought to relate with money.
Yes.
Why did you think of coming up with such a section in the book?
I felt that this book, addresses all cadres of people. And I felt that I should have a chapter that cuts across and gives tips to various age groups. Because, as I've said, we have unique financial needs. Unique because of our financial goals, our age bracket, our demands are different, our expenses are different. Like a youngster between 20 and 30 has a different, financial goal. And this is the most critical. That is where you lay the foundation. That is where wealth accumulation starts. But our youngsters, when they leave school, they leave college, university, the society has programmed them, work hard, get a good job, and that is period. Nobody tells them how you should use the income. And in that book, so I give tips. Like a youngster, the advantage a youngster has is time. Time to invest, time to try a number of businesses. Fail, but learn. Failure is learning points here. It's not punishable in real life.
You're right.
And then when you are moving from 20 to 30 now, start settling down. Look at that thing that you can do well. Start saving aggressively. 30 and 40, somebody has started now having a family, their children, fees to be paid, medical expenses are going up, by the way.
You're right.
Meaning that now the income, if it's not increasing, it is dwindling. The demands are more than the income.
Yes.
So that means planning starts early. And because maybe it's never late.
Yes.
Somebody even in the 40s and 50s.
Even 60s.
Yeah.
You tell us it's never too late.
Still, it's not, we cannot spell doom for the person. One can start and actually prosper at that given age. But one, get personal financial education.
I like
Otherwise, you cannot solve the same problem with the same mindset that created it.
Oh my goodness.
That is Albert Einstein.
Problems are not solved at the same level where they were created.
You have to change. Change your relationship, change your friends, change your thinking. And that happens when you become purpose and intentional. Invest in yourself. Invest in your mind.
So is all this covered in Chattanomics?
Very much. We cover it extensively. That's why we have a 3 month to 6 month program.
Where can I find the details on that?
The details are on the website, Chattanomics website.
www.chattanomics.com.
Yes. The keyword there is Chattanomics.
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 So I go to the internet.
Chattanomics.
Chattanomics.
Chattanomics.co.ke. Chattanomics fan base.
Yeah.
Chattanomics money talks. You go to Twitter, Chattanomics. So it's Chattanomics.
Thank you. Chattanomics. Tell your friend Chattanomics. Now, there's a question here that is coming from one of the viewers. They are saying that they are hardly pressed when it comes to debt. And they are wondering, how do they come out of financial debt trap? In a nutshell, maybe a minute.
Okay. By the way, people are hard pressed because of one major problem. There's the trap and shame of debt. That is, somebody says that modern day slaves are not in chains, but the people who are trapped in what?
In debt.
To come out of debt, my friend, it's not easy, but it's neither rocket science. What it needs is actually first understand your financial position, carry out an introspection. For example, do you know your net worth? Do you know how to calculate your net worth for you to know your financial position? Because that's where you start from.
Yes.
The first fundamental pillar of mastering your money is understanding your financial position. Calculate your net worth, know how much you are earning, how much you are spending. Okay? Are you spending more than you earn? Know that. Next, set personal financial goals.
Okay.
The SMART goals.
So we can't.
And we say the goals should be smart and not just smart.
Yes.
Yes. Then the next, embrace the art of saving and investing. That is an art. It's an habit. But it's not built once. It is gradual. Habits are built over time. Next, once you work so hard, learn how to protect your assets.
Yes.
We work so hard, but sometimes what we have labored for can be stolen.
Yes.
And don't forget to acquire personal financial education.
Okay.
That one is the pillar, by the way.
Wow.
That is the recipe.
Yes.
For success, attaining personal financial freedom.
Yes, congratulations. I can see in the book you've also given us a list, a catalog of more than 20 books that we can check out for. Yes. And at the appendix, you've also given us a lot of reference material.
Yes.
And I like it that your son came here and also told us that you've also been allowing him to access the books that you've been buying. And he told us that he's done, is it 15 books in 8 months? Wow, that's wonderful. I also like it that you've attended so many financial programs. Yes. One of your mentors is also here and he's also given a talk. He's our chief guest of the day. I mean, Rome was never built in a day.
Yes.
Takachamvunguni shati ainame.
Ainame.
So we need really to invest in ourselves.
Yeah.
What's your parting shot?
My parting shot is that the journey to mastering your money and attaining personal financial freedom is neither easy nor straightforward, but it's not rocket science. The most important thing is that personal financial education is the surest way of mastering your money and attaining personal financial freedom. So To acquire personal financial freedom, for example, I'm happy that you have gotten a book, Mastering Your Money. That is the beginning, the first step in achieving personal financial freedom. So mastering is a process. It's continuous. We never stop learning. So get a copy of Mastering Your Money and educate yourself. Because somebody said formal education can earn you a living, but self-education can earn you a fortune. I'm a product of self-education as a lifelong student.
Wow. Who could have put it better than Chattanomics Bichang'a? Sir, congratulations on the book launch. This is a great milestone, and I want to believe the world awaits for this great book. Someone is in America, someone is in Kisumu, someone is in Kisii, someone is in Nyeri, and they're wondering, how can I get a copy of this book? I need it like yesterday. What's your advice to them?
The advice is simple. Just Chattanomics. Chattanomics. Chattanomics.co.ke. Chattanomics Fanbase. Chattanomics Money Talks. Those are online platforms.
Okay.
In fact, you can order the book online. Chattanomics.muzizi.com. Muzizi is M-Z-I-Z-Z-I. Muzizi.
Okay.
Ni kama the single form of root.
Yes.
The plural is
Mizizi.
Mizizi.
Okay.
When you go there, you actually can order the book and it's delivered at your doorstep.
My, oh my.
And my contact, of course, you can reach me directly.
Okay.
0725
Your distribution team, 0725
361
361
991.
991.
Yes. you are home and
361
dry.
991. Wonderful. Thank you so
And
much.
I have collection points, by the way, here in Nairobi.
You have collection points in Nairobi.
Here in Nairobi, yeah. In fact, there's free delivery within the CBD,
Okay.
the Central Business District.
Okay.
We have collection point in Nakuru, in Kisii, we have in Garissa, and many other towns.
Okay.
And in fact, even that is when somebody cannot go online and order. Thank you.
So 07
25 361
361
991. That is the number.
Thank you so much. So for those of us who are online, kindly get out your mobile phone, type www.chattanomics .mzizi.com, and Mzizi is MZIZZI.com. So again, you can do mzizi.com/Chattanomics, and of course, you're going to get your copy delivered right at your doorstep. Any part in the universe.
Yes, that is precisely.
Any part in the universe.
Yeah.
I've used mzizi.com, and I would testify that they're very, very, very efficient. If someone places their order like now, tomorrow, you'll be having it by midday. They are that efficient. So once again, thank you so much, Bwana Chacha, for creating time for this wonderful launch. Maybe someone out there is wondering, how much is the book retailing on mzizi.com?
Yes, the book on muzizi.com is retailing at 1,300. 300, of course, is for the service, for the delivery
Okay.
to whichever part of the country.
Okay.
By the way, the price, this book is actually worth much more than that.
Yes.
By the way, the book you actually have given much more than what you are paying is a token. You are
Yes.
not buying the book. And there is nothing as good as getting a book that will help you to make much more money, to master your money and attain personal financial freedom. A worthy investment, no regrets.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to us, Mastering Your Money by Chattanomics Bichang'a. A round of applause to him, please. Okay, asante sana, asante sana, asante sana. Kindly remain right there. I'm going to move the bottle for you if you don't mind.